Okay, so what we're looking at today is points, lines, and planes. Once you have your foldable, you're going to have it like this, and I want you to bring this side in so it will fold this way. What this says is that points are a location. So just like you can tell, it would be just a point. Lines are made of points with no thickness and no widthness. What I want you to write here is that it really does need two. It needs 2 points. On the plane, it says a flat surface made of 3. You need to put 3 right here. 3 points. Go ahead and open it up. And we're going to start down this side, and then we'll do the facts later. A point is just a point, a dot. And how we denote it is with a capital letter. It can be any capital letter. It's named as point A, or you can just write the letter A. The next one on lines, I want you to write the word lines right here, because what we're also going to talk about, and if you'll make a squiggly mark like this, we're going to talk about segments. What are lines? Well, lines are just a line like this, but they have to have arrowheads. What that means is it's going to keep going in both directions. They'll keep going up and they'll keep going down. I don't know if you remember in algebra that we need 2 points to define a line. In geometry, we need the same thing. 2 points to define a line. We can name it whatever we want. So I'm going to name it BC. To name a line, we need those 2 points, BC, and then a picture of a little line on the top. Make sure you put the arrowheads, and that's why I wanted to talk about segments, is because the notation looks similar. The order doesn't matter. I don't know if you remember that from geometry, that you could go down and over this way as well to get the slope and the y-intercept. So we could also write this as CB. This is not enough. Make sure that you put the little arrow symbol at the top to make the correct notation. The other way that we can note a line is by a cursive lowercase letter. A cursive lowercase letter. If you see a cursive lowercase letter that has no dot around it, then we're talking about a line. So the other way that we can name it is by the word line, and with that cursive lowercase letter. Any letter will work just the same. So why do I want to talk about segments? Segments look a lot like lines, only that they have to have the end points telling you that it stops right there. It stops right there. That means that this part right here can be measured. Let's call it EF, because since they're points, we need to have them named. So how can you name it? You still need the 2 letters, EF, but you still need to have the notation at the top. So the notation looks just like a little segment of line. You don't need to put the endpoints, but you can if you would like. Okay, if this one could reverse its letters, can this one? Yes. So this one can also be named EF. The little segment on the top. Segments would not have cursive lowercase letters. So this is the only way to name a segment. Planes. For planes, what we typically see as a parallelogram, how we draw that is one little stick down, and then we make that kind of the same length but a little lower. And then we connect those lines. If yours doesn't look like mine, that is okay. The plane needs 3 points, G, H, and K is what I'm going to name mine. But to name a plane, we have to write the word plane and then write the 3 letters, G, H, K. If we can rewrite the letters for a line, can we rewrite the letters of a plane? Yes. Plane, K, H, G. There's actually 6 total names that you can give this plane, but I just wanted to illustrate that you can change the order of the letters. We don't have to write the rest unless I tell you to write all the names of this plane. Again, this is enough to show that you can put the letters in any order, but make sure that you write them all if I ask you to do so. The other way that we can name a plane is that you have a capital letter, a capital cursive letter. As you can tell, this one does not have a dot around it. It does not have a line around it, so they're talking about the whole plane. The other name for it has to have the word plane with the cursive M. Now let's go to the facts. For the fact of a dot or a point is that it has no dimensions. And it's with an S. Dimensions. And they can be collinear. What does that mean? Co means the same. Linear means line. So they mean they can be in the same line. Facts. So let's put lines right here and then make a separation, and then we're going to write segment. How many points do we need? 2 points. What else do we need on a line? Arrows. For a segment, how many points do we need? 2 points. Do we need arrows? No. We call this endpoints. We do not need arrows, we need endpoints. For a plane, how many points do we need? 3. What else do we need? I haven't talked about this yet, but what we need is the 3 points to be non-collinear. What do you think that means? Non means not. Co means same. And then linear means line. So not in the same line. Right down here, we're going to do G, H, and K. And we're going to make a little dashed line to illustrate that they're in a line. And this would be not good enough. And that's all the sections for section 1.1, points, lines, and planes.